Hey Simmers, as always, it's me Phoebe, and I have a kind of funny bit for you. It's the Family Guy sim, so watch and enjoy. So yes, I said the Family Guy. We're gonna do the Griffins with the exclusion of Brian because we don't have pets. And I started with Lois here. Um, I would like to say that because they are animated, their sims are obviously more. They have more traits, like physical traits, than the animated versions of them. I tried to resemble them slightly, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. But I was actually still proud at the end product, and I actually really enjoyed the process because Alex and I have been watching the Family Guy like in the background of almost what we do. You know, when you're busy, you just want the television on. Because we've watched basically every season except 15, which they're still on because we like binge watching. So we figured it would be cool if I made the like the Griffins. So that's what I went ahead and did. Again, this is Lois. I basically, like in the show, all their outfits are the same. Except I think it's their sleeping outfit and swimwear that is not the same typical everyday outfit. So I tried to make her resemble, the other Lois, green shirt and tan pants, but I couldn't find the proper tan, so we just went with, those. It's the same outfit for, like I said, everything except sleeping and swimwear. This was funny. I think I had the most fun trying to figure out their traits because it's like, which traits do you pick for them? It was so funny, and it was fun. Hair wise, Lois and I had some battles back and forth a few times. Because you want to pick the one that's closest to resembling to make her look like her actual character in the Family Guy. So that was the issue. Facial feature wise, their faces usually don't have. They have circle eyes with tiny pupils and mouths. Like, that was not something I tried to go there, but never try to go there with Sims. Just don't. It didn't work out. So yeah, this is pretty much me finishing up Lois Griffin. Now I did talk to you about her traits a little bit. Lois' traits was, I think, maybe the hardest of all the Griffin sims that I did. I had to look through them all quite a bit because, as Stewie says, all he knows about Lois is groceries. Because what does she do with her time? I don't know many of her hobbies other than the piano, which I do get some music in there. Cleaning, because she's a housewife mostly. I don't know any of her like outside hobbies other than those two things, or what her like aspiration would be. But I made her want her family to be successful because I thought that would closely resemble Lois. Like I said, we got the music trait in there, we get the cleaning trait, and the last one don't actually remember, but I kind of was just like at a loss, like what to do. It was just, cause Lois, just groceries, man. Remember the episode when Peter went grocery shopping and she flipped out? That's what I was thinking about. But I ended up putting outgoing because she is sociable at parties. Then we went to Peter, who was the start of the show, but we started with the mother instead of starting with Peter. I know everyone expected me to start with Peter, but I did not. So I thought I'd switch some things up. Okay, so Peter was easy. I didn't have his exact hair, because Peter had like a little bit of hair, and okay, if you want to talk about hair, just a real pause. Stewie's hair, which is impossible because he has lines, but I'll explain in a moment when we get there. But then I wish they had smaller circle glasses, but these worked out well, and I was so glad I had the city pack that had these glasses, because otherwise it had some like little rectangular glasses on. That would have totally ruined what I was trying to do. They don't have high colors either, if you really think about it. Again, they just have tiny dots for pupils. Again, I dressed him in as close to his show's attire as possible. White shirt, green pants, and I think he wears like brown loafer type shoes. Originally he was considering putting him in something like fancy. I was like, nah, I'll do exactly what I did for Lois and just put them in the same outfits other than sleeping and swimwear. So that's the same way across the board for everyone. But Peter is just the most... I don't even think he's the most interesting character of the show. He is the star of the show, but one of my favorites is Adam West, because he's always just popping... Mayor West. He's always just popping up with random nonsense. It's like, what in the world are you doing? This is pretty much it for Peter, and then I get to talk to you guys more about his traits. I know I could have cut the dressing them out, but it gives me more time to talk to you guys, and I like talking to you guys. Alright, so with Peter's traits, I knew I wanted to make him one of his aspirations is popularity, and they have the goofball one telling jokes, which was perfect because obviously childish, because Peter's childish. Lazy, he's always watching TV or drinking something, doesn't even put his pants on, and he's a total goofball. So that worked out great. I don't think his traits are balanced, but then again, Peter's not a balanced person. He's crazy and goofy. So then we wanted to move on to Meg. And Meg, it's the thing. Everyone says Meg is ugly, but she's not actually. I think they hate more of her, just her name and what she stands for, than the way she actually looks. So this Meg isn't really like, she isn't ugly, because first of all, it's like almost impossible to make like a generally ugly sim, because all people look different, and like something still just personality stands out over looks eventually anyway. But what I'm saying is, Meg is just, I did make her like flat and like bit weird, because just remembering the show, I do think Meg was probably my favorite to make, ironically, because she's the most hated character on the show, maybe next to how Quagmire feels about Brian. But I just love her beanie, her glasses. She looks pretty cool to me, which again, Meg's character in the show isn't actually ugly. It's just what she stands for that's ugly. And I didn't find the exact pajamas she has in the show, because The Sims, not, Family Guy game. But I think all of their clothes, except for Stewie, resembles what they wear pretty much on point in the show. Her aspiration was really hard, because again, much like Lois, what does she really do? Her traits are easy. Like, she's a loner. She's always alone, and she's usually miserable. So I put gloomy. Cause that's Meg to me. Her aspiration was the hardest. I put back her hat and glasses on here. Because what does she strive to do? I don't know what Meg is really about. But if you guys remember from a lot of the episodes, Meg is. She's not a virgin. She's very much had a lot of flings. There was like Mario, Luigi. She did Jerome when he was in the house. So that's where I got that from. I know you guys think it romance from Meg. It's a serial romance. So she's not tied down, because that never happens. Then we moved on to Chris. Chris was fairly easy. I think the only thing that would be slightly off about him is his hair, because they don't have the exact blonde I wanted to use, as well as like just the straight hair. I had to get it like with the little flick things out. So that's the only thing that concerned me. It's just really weird that why is Chris blonde? I'm pretty sure all of you guys who watch Family Guy have had this discussion with your friends. Like, how did his genetics... I haven't seen any other blonde person on either Peter's or Lois side of the family. So where did he come from? Like, how far back is their lineage that Chris has blonde hair? It just seems so weird. It's like, why? But Chris and Peter are, crazy alike and crazy stupid together. So, even though it isn't his son, that's his son. Basically, again, I tried to find. I wish they had like a more on point hat for Chris, like they did for Meg. But the orange one came fine because it was just there. Chris is a very interesting character of the show. He is one of the only ones besides Brian in the house who understands Stewie perfectly. Like, if you notice, he and Stewie have had conversations, they interact. He understands Stewie even when no one else does. When Stewie was reborn because of the time thing, he was like, did anyone else hear the baby talking in there? Like, Chris and Brian are the only ones who understand Stewie in the house. Even though Chris is not smart enough to keep up with Stewie, which is why I believe they don't hang out more often. So his traits were not as hard, because I think his aspirations for everyone was the hardest. But he's insane. When he gave himself that nosebleed, that is what I was thinking when I put insane. I just can't. Whew, Chris freaks me out. He's also very cheerful and excitable all the time, so that's where I got that from. As for aspirations, again, I'm not sure what Chris stands for. Like, even though they're like a thicker people, I haven't really seen them be obsessed with food at no point in time. Peter drinks and Chris, likes food, but that's it. So I made him want to be friends with the world because, Chris is really kind of, when he's not acting all insane, he's a really nice person. So we moved on to Stewie. Stewie has the least resemblance to his TV show persona, because he has that football head, he has those thin strips of hair that they don't have on here, which I think they should have had, because a lot of cartoon babies had that, but so I couldn't get the strips of hair. I didn't want to make him bald because that just scared me. So I tried to make his face as football shaped as I could possibly get it. So yeah, that's what that's about. Again, they didn't have his jumpsuit colors, so I ended up having to put him in the blue and the red one, as opposed to, I think it's the red and the yellow one. I believe it's the red and the yellow. But other than that, Stewie was like simple. He's just toddler. He doesn't have much to do. Didn't even have as many outfits. And he only really needs one trait. So Stewie, I think Stewie has the potential to grow up to be the other Stewie, because I want to put the evil traits and stuff eventually. But for now, he's wild because I've done the 7 Sim challenge and I know what wild Sims are like. Wild toddlers are like, and yeah, it reminds me of Stewie. They break things. You guys should check that out, by the way. But then I had to make sure adjust things because Meg was looking a little bit too thin. I didn't want to up her body fat, but I did want to make her bony. I don't really like bony characters like that. It's just oh my god, eat some food. But yeah, this is the Griffin family, so I hope you guys enjoyed me making them. I totally had a fun time doing it. I wish they had pets so I could stick Brian in there. I thought about making human Brian, but he'd have to be short, and since we can't adjust heights, I just forwent it. So tell me what you guys think, and remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day.